If you've been posting content, again, as like a real estate agent, you've been wondering why people aren't reaching out because your content, whether it's home tours, location content, it's not because nobody's interested. It's because it's kind of like middle school, high school. You know, when you would like ask someone out for the first time, those nerves, someone needs to be the person to make the first move. And your real estate leads are very similar to that. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the exact system to use so that you can reach out to anyone who's either followed, liked, or commented on your content. Yes, a lot of those people are going to have different qualification, but you're not going to come across as pushy or salesy. Because again, we want to work with people who want to work with us, people who know, like, and trust us. And I'm going to show you what I call the DM deal flow framework. This is the exact DM messaging strategy that I've used to help realtors close over $450 million worth of real estate within just the past couple years with nothing but organic content. We could have, let me see if I put out anyone, Stephanie, she just joined. She talked to a friend that she hadn't reached out to in almost a decade, and she used one of our AIs, and now she's scheduling a consultation with them. We have Omar right here who booked a few calls this week. He had potential clients moving in the next few months. He got 20 new subscribers to his email list, which we do sometimes use. Again, there's a lot of view wins, millions of views. We got Zach. He's a kid in Bozeman, Montana. I love him. He's a great guy. You know, no homo. But this is just after a couple DMs, he got someone signed after 45 days of creating content, like his first deal signed from it. But even when agents try to reach out first, they genuinely end up doing it wrong, and that's why you get ghosted. Well, you know, get left on red, as some people might say. So I'm going to be showing you the exact ways on how to reach out to someone, what to exactly say, and how to make that conversation intentional so that you can book a consultation call. So your audience, I want to kind of reset maybe one of your thoughts, if that's okay. Your audience is already there, and they are warm. But a lot of agents post content, and it never reaches anyone. You know, they're posting videos and waiting for something to come in, but mostly because they're scared. Like, they don't want to message someone first. They don't want to sound salesy. And I get that. And obviously, depending on what country you're in, we had someone just join from Australia in my content academy. And, you know, like all the agents who are using this exact same system. And he has to, again, we're in one-on-one calls diagnosing how he can actually use the things that we're learning and teaching in our academy to reframe people's mindsets in Australia, because they communicate with sales a little bit differently. Every person who follows you, likes your video, and comments is giving you a signal. Now, is that signal going to be like, again, your comment, like, or follow? Are those people going to have different qualifications? Yeah, of course. Like, there's different intent. But maybe they know you in real life, or maybe they just found you through the content and, you know, liked what they saw. But whatever it is, they were interacting with you. They liked your content. Again, it's like if you're at the gym and, you know, they're like, hey, don't cold approach a girl like without some sort of hint. And like you don't even reach out to her, but she's like been stared at. She already stared at you like 5 times. She smiled at you and she even waved. But you still didn't even want to go up to her. That's like these signals. And so they're warm and they want to be talked to. And that's how agents are closing deals with content, because they're not scared to make the first move. So here's exactly how you should be reaching out. When you have a new follower, someone following you means something caught their attention that you were posting. And that's one of the warmest signals that you can get. Now, someone who likes your video. This is an iffy one because they've engaged with your content, yes, which means they're paying attention. Someone had to take a physical action to like your video. But people who commented, that takes even almost more effort than anything else, because it means they're at possibly the highest interest that any lead could be. So now I'm going to get into how do you actually reach out to these people without coming across as salesy, without getting ghosted in the end. And like I mentioned earlier, we have a content academy for real estate agents all across the country, and even, again, Australia, Europe. I have a guy killing it right now, my guy Victor in Mexico. So if you want my one-on-one help with this, there is a link at the top of the description, and you can book a one-on-one call with me directly, going over to see if you're a good fit for the Real Estate Content Academy. And inside, we actually have an AI DM deal flow, and it's a complete AI bot. All you have to do is drop screenshots of your conversation, and it will tell you exactly what to say next to continue holding intention with your lead to book them onto a consultation. But I want to get into the framework. This is my sauce. Like, DMs is one of the most important things. If you don't have this, you're going to lose 70% of your leads that you actually get. The DM deal flow breaks up into 5 distinct stages. Number 1 is the opener. Number 2 is understanding their world. And number 3 is finding a gap, helping someone cross a bridge from where they are to where they actually want to be. And you have to read the room, and then you actually have to close and pitch them as a consultation. But how do you do that without scaring them away? But before I actually show you how actionable each one of these are, you need to understand the strategy behind the framework is called peel the onion strategy. You need to think of your DM conversations like peeling an onion. You're at the surface and you have to work your way to the core. You have what's called a surface pain. So what is that? That could be maybe they're renting or owning, like figuring that out. Then some pain. Why are they still in the situation that they're in? Deep pain. Like, can you emotionally get them to emotionally open up to you about why they want something new compared to like staying where they're at? And core pain is like, what is the actual repercussions of you staying where you're at? So the surface level is low friction. As they open up, you go deeper. Medium friction, high friction questions. This is how you get the real situation. And so when you jump straight into deep questions too early, that is when it shuts down before you even get started. So you need to start low, earn their trust, and then go deeper. So the conversation flow is an opener like this. The first message should be kept short, but still having a curious tone. And there's some things you can do. Like, again, you can't always get your tonality across when you are messaging someone through text, which is why sometimes voice notes even work great. But you're not pitching anything yet. It's a new follower. So let's say it sounds like this. Even if this was a message, hey, John, I just saw that you followed and I had a second to DM you. This is something that's very strategic in a way that we do it specifically for us, because you'll end up seeing a lot of people saying, hey, thank you for following. I really appreciate you for following my page. What does that do subconsciously to the lead? You are putting them at a higher position. You are framing them as like, hey, you did something crazy for me. Well, no, you're the real estate agent. We do not want to be treated as just another commodity. And so when you have a higher frame saying, I saw that you followed and I had a second to DM you, you are putting yourself at a higher positioning frame saying, hey, I'm busy, but I did just see you follow. And I subconsciously, without telling them, appreciate it, but I just had a second. Are you actually from the Bay Area, or is Instagram just feeding you the content? You want to find out where they are, because that's going to lead your entire conversation. If they're crazy across the country, then you're going to know this is going to be more of a relocation conversation. If they're in your area, then you know and you can use terms that they might know already. The goal here is honestly just to get a response. It is not to go deep into anything yet. But if they respond, the framework behind every message from this point forward is called the ACAI framework. This is literally the framework that we use. But a lot of times you can get it wrong, even when you know the framework, because first you have to acknowledge. You want to acknowledge what they said. Imagine if they just opened up to you very deep about something, and then you said, okay, I want to hop on a call. I mean, okay is technically the acknowledgement. It's pretty natural in human psychology to just say something like okay or cool, but you need to acknowledge what they said. You'd say, okay, even without going too deep into it. Like if they did open up, you'd say, okay, that's starting to make sense now. A compliment. If it feels natural, not forced, if there's a way that you can compliment them occasionally, do not do this every time, then you can add it. A and I are almost combined, which is asking a question with intention. And intention means never send a message without a question at the end. So if you're sending someone a piece of value, if you're sending someone the quote unquote more info about the home, always ask another question that keeps intention with the conversation. This is the most important thing about the entire conversation, because if you do not have intention and you do not know where you are leading the conversation, then you are going to get lost and you're going to end up talking about random things that should have been saved for the consultation call. So understanding their world. Now that they've responded, you want to understand where they are right now. So acknowledge their answer, then ask, I'm actually doing, or you can again, acknowledge. That's Great, I love the area. Send it. Avoid long, paragraphs. I'm actually doing a quick poll with my followers right now. Are you renting right now or are you already owning? We are peeling the first layer of the onion here. I want to know if they are renting or owning without asking or making it sound like I'm trying to qualify them. Then we are going to find the gap. We need to dig a little bit deeper. We need to peel back that second layer of the onion. You want to acknowledge what they said and then ask, like, what's actually having you consider moving to this area in the first place? Let them talk. Have them share an understanding. Like, let's say they came from a home tour. Like, they commented on your home tour and this is the conversation you're having. Like, is there something that's having you consider making a move here in the first place or to this specific area? Anything to make it more specific obviously sounds more customized. We have to read the room. So before you actually propose the call, you want to know where they actually are at in the process. So you want to acknowledge them with their previous message, send it, and then say, just so I understand where you're at in the process, have you looked at any homes recently? Or you can say, have you looked at any homes recently? Or have you looked at any homes in person or online? If they've only looked online, then you kind of know their intention. If they looked in person, you know they're probably looking to move within 1 or 2 months. So their answer tells you exactly where they are. And then you have the close. This is how you actually frame a consultation call in the DMs. Because once you have enough context, you can say perfect. So you're looking for, repeat what they said. So you're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath, and a little bit bigger of a backyard for the dog. Also close to a school. Is that right? Wait for them to just say, yeah, that's right. Awesome. Are you open to hopping on just a quick, just like no pressure, 15-minute call, just so I can help you? Again, this is where I get more of an emotional desired situation. Just so I can help you find that right home in your budget that's actually close to the schools so that it's safe for your kids to walk there every day. Again, try to get them emotional. This first, repeat what they said. I'll try to get a little more logical. The second one, I will try to open up some emotions while you're still going to obviously repeat a couple things from what they said earlier. Now, the call is always the goal because that's where you can sign them as a client. Now, if you know they are local, could you say meet up for coffee? Could you do an in-person meeting? Of course. But again, offer that Zoom call, not a phone call, a Zoom call. And make sure you always record your calls because the back end of these calls is knowing what actually stood out to them about you or about the area. And that's information that you're going to use repeatedly in your content. And again, bonus voice messages. If someone hasn't opened your DM, you can send a voice message as a way to, quote unquote, follow up. Again, we don't say follow up, of course. Hey, John, it's David Bronner. I just found this old DM of ours, and I'm based out of the Bay Area, Oakley specifically. Is that where you are, or did you just kind of stumble across my content one day? You see how it's still higher positioning. You're not saying that you're following up. I just found an old DM of ours. It makes it more personal. You're like, wow, he actually checks out and cares. And one last thing, again, always follow up. Not every conversation is going to convert immediately, and that's completely normal. But the agents who are closing deals from DMs are the ones who stay consistent and who keep the conversation going. And that's the DM deal flow framework. And that's the DM system that has helped agents close deals all across the world just from content. And the biggest shift I want you to know right now is you need to stop waiting for people to come to you. The leads are already there. You just need to be the one to make the first move. We had a client, Jonathan. I forget his last name. Maybe it was Lynn, Jonathan Lynn. And he had a lead when he first joined the academy. He actually signed his first deal within his first month, not because it was from the content necessarily itself, but he actually messaged someone who came in as a referral, but just had not talked to him yet. She didn't reach out. She might have wanted to be nurtured from his content, but because he reached out first, and he even used our DM bot that we have, he actually was able to book her on a consultation and sign her for an $885,000 home, and they already sold that. So you just need to make the first move, and when you start doing that with the deal flow framework, you will be surprised how many people were actually ready to have that conversation. So go to your DMs right now, pick out a couple people, People who are not realtors and who are not like family members that you see on a month-to-month basis. Anyone else you need to message. A new follower, someone that liked your last video, someone who commented. Send them a quick message and you'll be surprised how fast these conversations can actually get started and end up you signing a client within your first week. And if you want our personal help with this, you can access the DM Deal Flow bot that tells you exactly what to say in every conversation. Could be even an email or text if you give it the context. So in the first link down below in the description is where you'll find where you can book that call directly with me. And we'll see if you are a good fit for the Real Estate Content Academy. But this is that next action step. Go DM if you have an abundant amount of followers, 5 or 10 a day. Come back to me, let me know how those conversations are going. But if you want to actually speed ramp and speed up your success, that you can actually close them, not just have these conversations, you can go ahead and book that call. And I'll see you on the other side.